Hello everyone, welcome to the SIUK India webinar. Thank you for joining us. We are now live with Durham University. Today we have Tom and Miguel with us. They will be taking us through this webinar. We'll answer all the questions after the presentation during the Q&A session. So let's start the webinar. Over to you, Tom.
Perfect. Thanks, Yukti. So I'll just share my screen now. Yeah, so thanks very much for that, Yukti, and welcome everyone to this webinar with Durham University. So today we're going to be talking about the MSc Plant Biotechnology and Enterprise, and I'm joined by my colleagues Miguel and Pooja, who will go into a little bit more detail about the content of the course and the specific entry requirements if you're joining us from India. So I'd just like to say a massive welcome to the webinar, a welcome to Durham, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's like to live here in Durham, and ultimately to study with us should you choose to do that. So we want you to be inspired by this presentation, and hopefully we've covered off kind of a lot of the questions you might have around living and studying here in Durham, but we'll also have a portion of time at the end where you can ask any questions that you might have. So our university, we're a world's top 100 university, and we're based in the northeast of England. So we're quite different from a lot of other universities in that we've got 17 distinctive college communities, and we're actually the third oldest university in England, having been founded in 1832. We're an immensely diverse place, so we've got students and staff from over 120 countries, and we've got incredible industrial links and excellent employability opportunities as well after you've completed your postgraduate degree. So our location, as I said, we're based in the northeast of England. A little map there just to give you an idea of our place in the country. It's an incredibly easy place to find. So we're approximately 12 minutes on the train from Newcastle, about 3 hours from London, an hour and 45 from Edinburgh, and 2.5 hours from Manchester. But in Durham itself, there's a range of really excellent cultural and sporting activities for you to get involved with. We've got a world-renowned cricket team and stadium just about 10 minutes up the road, and also some incredible bars, restaurants, and places to meet up with friends. So our city, you'll get a world-class education by coming to Durham, but you'll also live in a magnificent city. So our university is not only safe, but also beautiful and historic. And we're actually based around a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is a fantastic kind of backdrop to your studies. The city itself is really walkable, so you can get across town in about 30 minutes. And we're surrounded on all sides by countryside, so you've got that real benefit of having the city and all its amenities, but also having the countryside not too far away as well. And by coming to Durham, we want you to be an explorer. So this is a picture of last year's Holi celebrations as part of Durham Global Week, and this is something that we do kind of every year. So it took place on Sunday here in Durham, a great event for everyone taking part. And now I've just got a really short video just to give you an idea of what it's like in Durham and the wider area. So hopefully that just gives you a bit of an idea of what it's like to live here in Durham, to study here in Durham, and to explore the wider area. Because we wanted to be pioneering when you're here and really kind of to build something great by studying here at Durham. So as part of this, we want you to be outstanding, and there's so many things that you can get involved with alongside your studies here in Durham. So we've got over 200 student societies that you're able to join. We were voted Sports University of the Year for 2023 last year, which is a great achievement. We've got 85% of students involved in either sport, music, theatre, or volunteering, with 86 different music societies for you to try if you're into music, and over 700 college sports teams across 18 different sports. So there really is so much to be doing outside of your studies while you're living here in Durham. And while you're here, we want you to be supported. So in terms of the kind of support that we're able to offer, there's a massive range of things to help you feel well, comfortable, and to get the most out of your experience. So we can offer help in terms of immigration support, healthcare and GP services, student finance, well-being programs. We've also got expert counselling service, chaplaincy and faith opportunities, as well as our equality, diversity and inclusion policy, which kind of runs through everything that we do. So yeah, we want you to be ambitious, and we hope that you start your journey with us here in Durham. So I'll pass straight across to Miguel and Pooja, who are going to talk a little bit more about the content of the course and the entry requirements. But as I say, any questions you've got, leave them to the end, and we'll be happy to answer them. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tom. Has been a great presentation. Well, I'm gonna now move and show you my presentation about the content of the master program. Let's see, share screen. There it is. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Miguel de Lucas. I'm an associate professor here at the Department of Biosciences in Durham University. And I'm going to talk about our master in plant biotechnology and enterprise. So where we try to harness the power of plants. As Tom said, we are a top 100 university, and we have a lot of experts here within the department that can help us deliver, are helping us to deliver what I think is a high quality master, using plants as the fundament to improve the world where we live. I have a video as well. The music is quite energetic, so probably turn down a little bit your volume. Well, this video summarizes what we cover in the master. So I'm passionate about plants. I really believe that we need to use them more, and we have to use them more in order to solve key problems that we have in our society and our world. I'm gonna just highlight some of the problems that we have in a couple of slides. But before, I'm going to introduce you to the cohort, that the first cohort of the master. It started in 2021, 2022. So we are quite new. So it's a just recently developed master. And here you can see the cohort of students that we had. We had students from all over the world, from China, Malaysia, India, Syria, sorry, not Syria, Palestine, and the UK, and Syria is Laila, but Laila is not a student. And here is myself over there, and Uli, that is another academic that is also teaching in the master. And well, you can see a lot of happy faces here. This is Suyan and Hausan when they found out that in the Botanic Garden is 5 minutes away from the department, they found that we had a terracotta warrior from Xi'an. They were very surprised that we had that. We have a lot of historical things and cultural things around the university. On the top, I have a picture of Toby. Toby is smiling here because he was able to purify a protein, and he was able to demonstrate that the purification was working, and he was very pleased that all the effort that he put during that week in trying to generate the DNA, express the protein in plants, etc., etc. At the end, he was able to achieve what he was aiming to, like the purification of the protein. That's why he was smiling there. So I'm gonna cover the aim of the course. Sorry, I'm playing with the screen because I have. Okay, now it was hiding the slides. So I'm gonna cover first the aim of the course, and then I'm gonna talk to the specific of the course, and then a little bit of how to apply. Well, as many of you know, so we need plants for food production. Is the main source of energy that we have. However, producing crops is not that easy overall when they are under stress. So many of you are aware, well, all of you, I guess, are aware of the problems that we are facing due to the climate change. From freezing in on times that we don't expect to have freezing. Drought is any country is now affected by drought. The soil erosion, so that means that we end up with high salinity, and those stresses are the ones that plants are facing. And on top of this, on top of the stresses that are associated to the climate change, we have another associated problem, is that the population is growing, and it's growing quite fast in the world. So last year we reached 8 billion, and it's expected that we are gonna reach 840 million by 2030. So we have to improve the way we produce food in order to feed all the increased number of population. So it's gonna be challenging to produce all that food with the associated stresses that our crops are facing. So one of the principal challenges that our society face is the need for increased agricultural productivity via crop protection and the generation of new. I think I just went off, right? Am I back? Okay, hope I'm back. Is this screen back? Can you see the screen?
Not just yet, Miguel.
Okay, sorry for that. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I went off. Okay, so I don't know when I went off. I was talking about the need of improve the quality and the quantity of our crops. That is challenging. However, we have in our side an army of tools. We have an army of genomic tools. Nowadays, thanks to the improving the technology, we can do proteomics, metabolomics, genomics, phenomics. We can do a lot of high throughput approaches to understand better how our crops interact with the environment, and because we get a better understanding, we can apply our knowledge to improve our crops. So I'm very positive that we are going to end up with good solutions. However, there is a problem associated with that. Like, not all the students, when they finish their degree, they have the skills to understand all the high throughput data, how to use proteomic data, how to use metabolic data, how to analyze this high throughput data and find those solutions for generating new breeding approaches, new genome editing technologies, new agricultural methods. So that knowledge gap is something that we aim to fill within the master. Okay, that was about production of food. Now I'm gonna talk about something also very scary, is the pollution and global warming. So here I have pictures of fires. These fires happen every year in California. I lived in California 5 years ago, so that's why I'm highlighting this. No, 7 years ago. Fires in California, you see fires in Australia, you see fires in Spain, where I'm from. We see fires every summer, and they are devastating the vegetation, the crops, the soil. Is quite sad what they are seeing. But not only fires. Here I have a picture of York. York is a place here in not far from Durham, and it's getting flooded every year. And some countries near India, recently they got a huge, massive flood that they lost all the crops for the entire year. Then we see here the pollution, and the picture that I have here at the bottom is about air quality. So you can see, if you see green, it means that the air quality is good. Luckily, Durham is in the green area, so our air quality is good. But not all the air quality is good in all the countries. You can see in Africa, India, the air quality is not ideal. Okay, and there are many diseases that are associated to the quality of the air. Okay, this picture is a picture that I got yesterday, and I passed it here. And to me, it's really eye-opening. So this is coming from Copernicus. So Copernicus is taking data over the years of how the temperature is changing globally. And look at the peak here. This is from 2023, last year. The red line is 2023, and the white line is 2024. So February was the warmest month on record so far. So that's quite scary, because the trend is increasing even beyond what the scientists were predicting. Okay, so associated to the changes in temperature are stresses to our crops. And what we aim to solve is how to improve our crops to become more resilient and against the effects of climate change. Okay, well, probably you have heard about the Paris Agreement. More than 196 countries signed for the Paris Agreement. In the Paris Agreement, so we know that carbon in our atmosphere is one of the drivers of the increase in global warming. So the Paris Agreement involves 196 countries that sign this agreement for becoming carbon neutral by 2050. So this is a legally bound agreement. So it means that the 196 countries has to establish policies for becoming carbon neutral by 2050. This is a big challenge, but with those big challenges, there will be a lot of jobs associated to becoming carbon neutral, because they have to become. We all have to become carbon neutral by 2050. Okay, so you might have heard that there is a lot of investment in trying to design new strategies to improve the world decarbonization. I know about some strategies that happen here in the UK. I'm pretty sure you know a strategy that are happening in India or in other countries. To me, plants are one of the best strategies for becoming carbon neutral, to use them for becoming carbon neutral. Why is that? Because plants, what they do is just capture carbon. That's part of their metabolism. It's part of the photosynthesis. They use water, CO2, and a little bit of energy from light, and they capture the carbon. Okay, so how can we use plants? We can use plants to storage the CO2 as wood, for example, or we can use plants for capturing that carbon and then use the carbon for biofuels. And if we generate biofuels, we are solving two problems. First, they capture carbon, and then the fuels that we are using are we are not adding more CO2 to the atmosphere because it's from the one that it was is used by the plants. Okay, so we can also use plants for the generation of high-value molecules. So then they become more profitable. Like, for example, here I have a student. This is Chris, that is infiltrating a benzamiana plant. So this protocol is very easy. We can infiltrate benzamiana plants in 1 day and then see the result in 3 days later. So this simple strategy was used for the generation of COVID vaccines. So there were some trials that were using benzamiana plants for the generation of COVID vaccines. And it has been used for other vaccines, like, for example, Ebola in Congo. Why is that? Because not all the countries has the ability to store vaccines in a -80 or in liquid nitrogen. Probably if we are here in the UK, we have those facilities. But if you are going to a rural area, they might not have the facilities. One strategy is to generate the vaccine on site via this transformation method. So that's one of the ideas behind those COVID vaccines. Well, this is just a technology that is being developed, and soon we will see the outcome of all this technology. But the technology that has been already established is the one that I highlighted there in the middle. Those are poppies. So we are using poppies for all our painkillers. So I have friends that they always question me, "Hey, Miguel, why you are a doctor?" Yes, I'm a doctor. So, but you are not a doctor in medicine. I said, no, I'm a doctor in plant biology. They always ask me, why didn't you want to be a doctor in medicine? I said, well, believe it or not, you are using plants all the time. And one of the most important medicine that you are using for treating your patients is coming from the poppies, is the morphine. Okay, so anybody that is struggling with a painful disease, they will get a drug that is produced, is using a product that is obtained from poppies. So there is a lot of research around how to improve the production of morphine and different derivatives from poppies. But this is just an example. There are many other molecules that are produced by plants, and we are currently using them in medicine. So plants are excellent factories for the production of high-value molecules. Okay, so after highlighting all these processes and problems that our society is facing, so we know that the number of crop production products, that was a surprise to us, has been decreasing over the last 10 years. So instead of increasing, because there is more need, there has been decreasing. And then we have been asking industry, we've been asking people that I know the sector way better than me, because at the end I'm just an academic here at the university. So they share the information with us, and what they say is that, look, most of the graduates, when they finish their degree, they have very limited practical biotechnology. So they finish the degree, they have the knowledge, but they don't know how to apply the knowledge. So how a student finish the degree, a student can finish the degree and then has to put a lot of effort in learning how to translate their ideas into commercial products. So that's exactly what we're trying to fill in this master. We want to provide our students the knowledge, not only around plant biotechnology, but also the knowledge of how to translate their ideas into commercial products. And then hopefully, if we fill that knowledge gap, we will see in the next few years that this number of crop protection products is increasing rather than decreasing. Okay. Okay. So also when we talk to the employers, we ask them about what do you feel that our students are missing, or the students at the UK university and other universities are missing. And one of the things that they are missing, that the students don't have the transferable skills beyond those ones that are established in their first degree. Like, for example, teamwork, presentation, pitching for selling a product, time management, those are the transferable skills that they are missing. So we have designed our master not only to teach biotechnology and enterprise, also to teach skills that will be transferable and can be used in any other discipline, and they will become very useful for the real world. So by adding teaching those skills or giving those skills to our students, we know that we will help them improving their employability. For example, they will become more confident when they are in an interview process. And they will have a better understanding of how a company works, how the industrial sector is working, and how they can work as a team, find collaborators during the way of working in the company, for example. Okay, so you might say, well, you are telling all this, but now how you are going to deliver? So that's why I'm going to talk now about the course. Well, it's a taught master, so you have 5 taught modules. All these taught modules, most of the 4 of the 5 taught modules occur in the first term. The first one is Frontiers in Plant Science. This is the most theoretical one. Then we have Agriculture and Biotechnology. The students will have the chance to explore the industrial, the agriculture and biotechnology sector. Bioinformatics and data analysis. Here we will teach the students how to analyze all this big data, how to interact with a super high performance computer, and how to use different programming tools. Okay, how to learn the basics of those programming tools, as well as statistics. Innovation and enterprise. So the students will have a specific module where it will teach them how to create their business development plan. And then the technology in biosciences, where the students are going to explore state-of-the-art technologies that are associated to plant biotechnology. And then after the 5 taught modules, there is a research project. So the students will have hands-on research experience in a topic that fits with their research interest or with plant biotechnology interest. And I'm going to explain one by one. Okay, course benefits, hands-on lab experience, I highlighted that, training in business development, develop your own research project and idea, create links with leading biotech industries. Oh, I thought I have the modules here. I'm going to share with you a video of a student from the first cohort. His name is Rohit, and he's going to share with you his idea or his experience around the master.
Hi everyone, I'm Rohit and I'm doing a course in plant biotechnology and enterprise. So I was asked to make a video on how was my experience being a student at Durham University for this particular course. So this course has been really nicely structured. You get to study plant biotechnology along with business. So I know you would be from core biotechnology background, so you won't be fearing about biotechnology. Rather, you would be excited to study biotechnology. But you would be fearful about the business modules. But trust me guys, the business modules are not that scary. It is a good learning curves for us. You get to learn about a lot of new business strategies. Like I know from in India we don't have science and commerce together. Like we either we are science graduates or either we are commerce graduates. So this is actually a good program you can study, and it would be really nice to learn business alongside biotechnology, because once you design your products or whatever products you will be making through your research or in your future, that would help you through the business thing. So the course is really nice. The people here are really nice. The staff is even nice. If you look at any of the teachers, they would be really helpful. You don't need to much worry about the university thing over here. You can easily do it, I would say. The thing I would say is you need to worry about is the accommodation, because you need to get it booked. If you are willing to come over here, you need to get it booked at least, I would say, 1 or 2 months prior to coming over here. And the other thing I would say about is the Indian food. I know you would be coming over here and then you would be looking for a while you would be loving these foods, but after a certain amount of time you would miss that Indian food or that home food, so you would be craving for those foods. So you can get those foods here as well, but I would rather recommend you to bring lots of Indian food from our home. And yeah, also you should bring good amount of winter clothing, because it really goes into negative temperatures, so you need to be protective against that temperature. So yeah, bring water repellent shoes and jackets, like puffer jackets, really good kind of jackets, I would say. And then thermal socks, thermals and everything. And rest of the things, like for the course, you don't have to worry about much. You would be really all right. Yeah, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Well, that's Rohit. Rohit finished his master last year, and after the master, he applied for a PhD position here in Durham under the supervision of Professor Steve Chivasa, and he's now doing his PhD in Durham. He's quite happy. His PhD is very interesting because he's studying the plant interaction with soil, and they have came out with a solution where soil is the soil of bad quality soil is adding a cocktail of bacteria, microbes that is enhancing the quality of the soil, and then the plant is growing much better. And they are trying to explore how this microbiome interaction with the plant can be used to improve the growth, not of the model plant that they are using, but other crops. And it seems he's doing quite well. Okay, so the first module is the most theoretical one. It's called Frontiers in Plant Science. Is mainly taught by myself and Kit Lindsay, Professor Kit Lindsay. Here we need to teach you the fundamentals of plant biotechnology, because many of you might have a plant development background or plant biotechnology background, but not very specific. So we have to teach you more about plant biotechnology and plant biology, so you can apply or you can understand how plants behave, how plants respond to the environment, so we can use that knowledge to improve plant production or generate new biotechnology innovations. So this is just the most theoretical module. Is covered via lectures and seminars. We have speakers that are coming from all over Europe and the UK. For example, well, we have many people coming. It's really interesting. I was thinking on the example is Cathy Martin. Like Cathy Martin came last year, and if you have the chance, try to Google purple tomatoes, Cathy Martin, and you will see the innovation that she generated. It was very interesting talk that we received from her. So very inspiring seminars we are delivering in this module. Is theoretical, so is assessed via an essay exam. So you might have to study a little bit for this module. Okay, then we have the second module is called Agriculture and Biotechnology. So here we want to expose you to the industrial sector, the plant biotech industrial sector. So you will be visiting different industries, vertical farms, big companies that are working in the generation pesticides, for example, or they are working in the improvement of crops. We will expose you to all these industries, and you will have the chance to interact directly with the people that are working there, from the junior ones that just joined the company to the senior ones. So you will learn better what they are looking for, how your CV or how your interest fits with what they are looking for. Okay, so that's this module is mainly run by Uli and Steve. They have very good industrial links, and that's why they are the module leaders here. Okay, bioinformatics and data analysis, as I mentioned before, for this century, I mean, you need to learn how to use computers. You need to learn how to analyze data, high throughput data. In a few clicks, you can get a lot of results. So that's what Wenbin and Junli are gonna teach you. You're gonna learn about R programming or Linux, the use of high performance computer, the analysis of next generation sequencing, proteomic data, metabolic data. Okay, this is a very interesting module because it's not it's taught via workshops. So from day one, you will be playing with the computers. You will be learning those skills from day one. It's not that you're going to be listening to someone and then apply what you learn later on at home. No, you will be learning working directly on the computer with problems that they have developed for you. And I think that's the best way of learning how to use these programming approaches. Okay, innovation and enterprise. So here, the main aim of this module is for you to learn how to develop your own business plan. You might finish the master thinking, oh, I think I have this beautiful idea here, but now how can I make it a product? Okay, this is what Elaine, Stephanie, and Jen will be teaching you. We'll be teaching you how to create your business plan, and also what do you need to do in order to translate these ideas, because you have to be aware of ethics that might be associated. You need to be aware of the legislation, okay? Things that you might not be thinking about them at the moment, but that's why Elaine, Jen, and Stephanie will be helping you in this module. Okay, technology in biosciences. So this is a very interesting module because you're gonna play with many different techniques, molecular biology techniques, from working with DNA, from working with RNA, working with the plants, generating proteins is very interesting. I find it fascinating because I love working in the lab. So Johan, Becky, and Jen and myself, we have designed very interesting practicals that we walk you through state-of-the-art technologies. It's quite intensive because everything happens in a very short period of time. So students spend an entire day working in the lab, and they have to come the following day, and then they have to come the following day. And then when I ask them at the end of the day, how are you feeling? I say, I'm tired. But did you enjoy it? Yes, I love it. So it's kind of tiring because you are working hard in the lab, but you're going to do a lot of experiments and you're going to absorb a lot of knowledge there and skills. So some students start like a little bit scared because probably their experience in the lab is not high. Don't worry. We have a practical. So we run as well before those weeks, like a little bit of practicals for you to become more confident on how to work in the lab in terms of health and safety and the use of the general equipment. Oops. Okay, and then after you finish with the 5 modules, you will jump into a research project. So here in the department, we have academics working in the area of plant biotechnology. So you might have a specific topic that you want to focus on. Don't worry, talk to me, and I will try to allocate you with the best or the academic that aligns better with your project. So you will discuss with your academic the type of project that you want to deliver, and then he will be mentoring you to deliver that research project. One of the advantages of working in Durham is that we have direct interaction with the students. So my lab, for example, is opposite to my office door. So I have students coming all the time. When they have a question, they just knock at the door, I can attend to them. So the interaction is quite personal. You will have the chance to improve your experimental work, improve your data analysis skills, the ability to think independently, generate hypotheses. Okay, this is all the aim of the research project. So you will have 6 months of direct mentorship. You will have the opportunity to work in the lab, but not on your own, because you are going to be surrounded by other scientists, from PhD students, other master students, postdoctoral researchers, technicians. Okay, you'll be well supported. There is a possibility to do industrial placement. Like, for example, I'm currently discussing with a few industries this option for a student. The student just asked me, Miguel, I'm interested in this topic. Can you find a company for me? So if I have the time, well, obviously I ask the student, well, do you have anything in mind? And we work together finding the company. Then I discuss with the company, I visit the company, and I just have to assess that the company is fit for the purpose and the project is fit for the purpose. So the company will really offer you the opportunity to learn all these skills that we want you to learn. So the interaction, for example, with this student has been quite successful, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do a placement next year. But I have to say, if you want to do a placement or you're considering doing a placement in an industry, rather than doing your research project here, doing the research project in an industry, you need to talk to me first and way ahead of time, because this requires planning. It's not as straightforward because I need to see the industry, we need to talk about the project, we need to see that there is the industry offers and the research project offers what we aim for you to obtain. Okay, so if you are considering that, please reach me, talk to me. And Peter is the leader of this module, but again, there will be sub-leaders that are the academics that are interacting with you directly. Okay, and now I think Pooja is gonna talk about how to apply to the master.
Thank you, Miguel. That was a wonderful presentation, and it is very fascinating to know how our students are supported by staff and faculty. So,
sorry.
Just to give you a brief idea about the entry requirements for our MSc Plant Biotechnology and Enterprise program, we require a 3-year bachelor's degree or a 4-year professional bachelor's degree obtained from an Indian university with 60% and above. And we also require you to prove your English proficiency, as English is not your first language. The score that we require, we do accept a lot of exams, English exams. For IELTS, we require 6.5 bands, or for TOEFL IBT, we require 92 bands. Just to give you an idea, IELTS waivers are also feasible. And if you have graduated within last 2 years of our course start date, which would be September 2024, from a NUSER university list in their section 1 and 2, or if you have more than 80% in your 12th standard from certain state boards from India or CBSE board, you can avail IELTS waiver too. Thank you.
Yep, and here we have just a QR code. If you want, just take your phone camera and scan the QR code, and that will lead you to the website of the master if you want to see some specific information about the master. Or the other option, and that's the one that many of students are taking, is you just send an email to the email address that we have there. It's pgt.biosciences@durham.ac.uk. Looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for taking out the time and giving us this insightful presentation. Now time for Q&A session. I will call out the question from the YouTube chat box. So the first question is, what career pathways are available for graduate with a background in plant technology and enterprise?
Well, there are many. In the video, in the video that we just highlighted a few. So many of the students, when they experience the work at the university, how working in a lab, they decide to continue in academy. So they continue in a PhD, for example. They can apply for a PhD here in the UK, or they might want to apply to a PhD back in India or back in their own country. From the cohort of last year, both students that came from China, Haosan and Suyan, they got a position straight away back in China as program managers in a biotech company. It's a company that they do a lot of sequencing and everything about molecular biology. So as soon as they finish, they put their CV in the company and they got a job. It could be that you want to stay in the biotech sector, so you might get you might be able to apply for jobs in big industries, Syngenta, BASF, or Novartis, many industries. Or if you are thinking you are going to learn so many skills that we open it opens a lot of opportunities, mainly in the area of plant biotechnology, but because you are getting a lot of knowledge as well of molecular biology, you are opening to other sectors that are not plant biotechnology specific. Then other students have decided to start their own business. And I know some students from Malaysia, their parents, they have a farm, and they came out with ideas to improve the approaches that they were using in the farm. So when they went back to Malaysia. Now I know that this student in particular is implementing some of the strategies that we taught here. It could be that you feel that working in a lab is not your thing, but you can be a patent agent because you're going to learn about so many innovations that you can use your knowledge for helping industries to fill their patents. And I mean, I think there are many opportunities. Cannot highlight just one.
So next
Or
question
teacher, it
is,
could be that you want to be a teacher like me and end up here teaching students and doing some research.
okay, so next question is, who are the three top employers after completing masters in MSc Plant Biotechnology?
Well, it's hard to say because we only run the master for the last 2 years and we only have information from 1 year, and that is that small cohort, but mainly biotech companies. Biotech companies. That's my expectation. Biotech companies. We believe that you will finish your degree with a very specific CV. Okay, so you will be able to highlight all the time that you've been working in the lab, all the technology that you've been learned, and that will become very attractive for biotech companies. Why? Because they don't need to train you. They don't need to train you. You already joined the company with that training. You will be able to demonstrate that you have experience of how to work in a lab, how to work as a team, how to deliver according to a project. Okay, and this is what the biotech companies are looking for.
Okay, next question is, can we get work visa after completing MSc in Plant Biotechnology?
I think Pooja might be more suitable to answer that question.
I would answer that question. Um, yes, you can avail a 2-year graduate route visa once you successfully complete your MSc in Plant Biotechnology and Enterprise. This visa would allow you to stay back in the UK for 2 years.
So next question is, can I apply without IELTS?
I would like to answer this question too. So yes, students can apply without IELTS. We give IELTS waivers based on case by case. So if a student has graduated from a NUSER Section 1 or Section 2 university within last 2 years, then they can avail IELTS waivers. Apart from that, if they have scored more than 80% in certain state boards or CBSE board, then on case by case, we can avail IELTS, they can avail IELTS waiver. So if they are looking for IELTS waiver, I would request them to get in touch with us. My email address is, if you would like, I can post it in the chat.
I think when they apply, admissions can have access to that information. So
Yes.
add a comment to your application, and then admissions will deal with it.
Yes. So next question is accommodation guaranteed? How much do students typically pay in rent?
Accommodation is guaranteed. I don't think it will be guaranteed anymore because we were able to guarantee student accommodation in college before March if the application and the deposit was paid before March. That's as far as I know. I don't know if the deadline has changed. Are you aware, any of you aware of this, Tom or Pooja? You remember? Okay, well, I think it was before March. If you apply
Yes.
before March, then you will get accommodation secure in college. Then out of the college, oh, thank you, Tom, for sending that link. Out of the college is something that has to be arranged by yourself, and the university won't be involved. They might give you advice of companies that are involved in student accommodation, or how you can find websites that you can use to find a room with other students. However, the university won't be involved in the agreement that you establish with the tenant. How much it costs? It varies. It really varies. It depends on when you are gonna live. Like, for example, if you want to live next to the castle or next to the cathedral, that is gonna be very expensive. However, Durham, while it's small, is surrounded by small villages as well. And the connection by bus is very easy, very straightforward. So I have students here working in the lab, and postdocs working in the lab, and some of them live, for example, in Boburn. Boburn is only 5 minutes by bus, and is way cheaper than living in the center of Durham. So it varies. I cannot give you a specific number. It really varies of where you are living. Obviously, if you want to live in the center, is way more expensive, because is what everybody wants to. Yeah.
So next question is, what are the key advancements in plant technology that have significantly impacted agriculture and biotechnology?
Ooh, that's a very interesting question. From where? When are you? When is asking? Okay, I'm gonna talk about this, but that means that I have to talk a little bit about my research. So during my postdoctoral research, my PhD research, my most cited paper was about the regulation of a group of proteins that are called DELA proteins. So the DELA proteins are repressors of growth. And basically what I found is how these repressors of work actually work. What do they do at the molecular level? So I was able to publish that research in Nature. So it's one of my biggest achievements in my career. And that happened a long time ago during my PhD. Okay, so the biggest innovation we had so far is the use of the DELA proteins and mutants in the gibberellin pathway for improving crop productivity. So improving crop productivity because before 1950s, our crops were quite tall. But then we were able to generate these dwarf varieties that, instead of investing energy in growing vertically, because they were dwarf, now invested the energy in producing more yield. Okay, I will say that was the biggest innovation, and that's what caused the Green Revolution. And I'm quite happy to have contributed, although I wasn't born in 1950. I was born 30 years later than that. But until 2008, we didn't know why these crops were dwarf. We knew that they were dwarf because they were affected in a group of proteins that were called DELA proteins. But why? What was the function of the DELA? That's what I was able to discover in 2008. Okay, so yeah, thank you for the question. So it allowed me to talk a little bit about my work.
Are there any scholarship available for students pursuing this course? If so, what are the eligibility criteria and application process?
We have some scholarships, but it depends of many things. It depends in the nationality, background. Then there are scholarships that are not specific from Durham University, like, for example, the Commonwealth Scholarship. There are some scholarships that the students can use. We have a list, and I think Tom has added that list into the chat. So please have a look, and we will try to help you in submitting your application. Like, for example, if you want a reference letter, or well, not that probably I won't be able to provide a good reference letter because I won't know you much. But if you have to submit a statement to the scholarship, if you need to, we might be able to help you in drafting those documents.
Just to add to that, I would like to specify that for September 2024 year, we do have international scholarships for students who come from India, and it is a guaranteed scholarship of £5,000 reduction from your tuition fees.
Okay, so I've covered all the questions from the YouTube chat box. Thank you for answering all the questions so well. Do you want to share any final words?
No, basically, don't hesitate in sending us an email, reach us, and we will try to answer your questions as soon as possible. We can also set a Zoom meeting if you want to discuss something in particular face to face. So we are quite easy to approach. Yes, we are just one click far from you. Okay, I know that it seems far because you are in India, we are in Durham, but I'm pretty sure we can find a time and a day to meet with you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your valuable time. All the audience, if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact the SI UK India office. For more update, do follow us on our social media handles. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye. Take care.
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you so
Bye.
much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.